Hey, what's going on, guys? Boki here. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be making a YouTube video, like a typical gaming essay video that I kind of do, just commentary videos, right? I've been watching a lot of ChatGPT stuff and how they can make scripts for you. If you describe it well, you can kind of mold the conversation into what you want it to be and to perform what you want it to perform. And it's kind of scary. Based on what I just did, I'm scared for higher education. I'm scared for just pretty much every platform turning into AI program stuff because you don't know what's genuine and what's not. And I'm really going to show that in this video. So really, to get ChatGPT, all you have to do is you need to put your phone number in, but you'll need your email and all that stuff, and it's really easy to sign up. So I got ChatGPT, and what I decided to do is I wanted to make a script for a specific topic. Now, the one idea I had, and I always wanted to talk about it, but I just didn't really have the proper research for it, and I kind of fell out with this topic anyway, but it was about how sports video games continue to sell well, even though it's the same game every year, right? That goes into different demographics, people who are loyal to the sports games, and how they may not get outside of that bubble. Pretty much just getting into sports games in general. The mechanics of it, why they sell well, why people continue to buy them, just something like that. So I had a general idea, but then I narrowed it down here. So in ChatGPT, we just kind of had a quick conversation, just kind of getting to know the bot, kind of feeling them up a little bit, making sure that, they're going to give me some good content out of this. I said, well, I want to make a YouTube video to show how ChatGPT, you can help make a YouTube script for me. They're like, okay, great. What do you got? So I said that the topic would be about sports video games and how they still manage to sell well. Also, I wanted to describe the statistics and how they compare to other games. Then I wanted to talk about the loyal fan base that purchases them and how they might be different than typical games. Then I wanted to talk about the loyal fan base that normally purchases these games and how they might be different from the typical gamers sticking to just one type of sports game or just sports video games in general, not really caring for other video games. So they said, that's an interesting topic. Okay, here's a possible script. And I'm gonna put together some gaming clips and just kind of talk over this, maybe put some music in the background, and I'll let you know how this first draft goes. Here we go. Hey, what's going on, guys? Boki here. Welcome to my video about sports video games. In this video, we'll be discussing why sports video games continue to sell well and how they compare to other games in terms of sales. We'll also talk about the loyal fan base that supports these games and how they differ from typical gamers. Section 1.
Why sports video games continue to sell well.
Sports video games have been around for decades, and they continue to be popular among gamers of all ages. One reason is for the fact that they allow players to experience the thrill of competing in their favorite sports without having to leave the comfort of their own home. Whether you're a fan of football, basketball, soccer, there's a sports video game out there for you. Another reason why sports video games sell well is that they often feature licensed teams and players from real-world sports leagues. This adds to the realism of the games and allows fans to feel like they're part of the action. Section 2.
How sports video games compare to the other games in terms of sales.
Despite the popularity of sports video games, they often don't get as much attention as other types of games, such as first-person shooters or role-playing games. However, when it comes to the sales, sports video games hold their own still. According to recent data, sports video games consistently rank among the top-selling video games each year. In fact, the FIFA series, which focuses on soccer obviously, is one of the best-selling video game franchises of all time. This shows that there's a significant market for sports video games, and that market shows no signs of slowing down. Section 3.
The loyal fan base of sports video games.
One interesting thing about sports video games is that they often have a very loyal fan base. These fans are going to purchase every new installment of their favorite sports video game franchise, even if the changes from the previous game are relatively minor. This is different from typical gamers who switch between different types of games depending on their mood or interests. So why do sports video game fans stick to their favorite franchises? There's a few possible reasons, right? For one, they may have a deep emotional connection to the sport or team represented in the game. They may also enjoy the familiarity of the gameplay mechanics and find comfort and consistency of each new installment. And yeah, guys, that's it for my video about sports video games. We've discussed why these games continue to sell well and how they compare to other games in terms of sales and the loyal fan base that supports them. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Oh my god, dude. I mean, okay, so this wasn't that good. It wasn't that good, okay? But I now decided to narrow it down. So I'm going to make an adapted script, and now I'm going to tell the AI what the persona is going to be, what the tone of voice is going to be, and what data that they should provide, and just be a little bit more specific. So here's what I said. For this adapted script, take on the persona of an expert video game player and describe how sports video games like Madden and FIFA have been successful despite being the same type of game every year. The output should include why many people have an issue supporting paying full price for a game that's the same every year, and how the business model for these games won't likely change because these games sell very well by today's standards. Then I want them to provide data on how well sports video games sell in today's market. Then I want them to transition on the demographic of people who generally buy sports games and how they're different from typical gamers. This would include how they tend to stay loyal to their sports video games and how they don't care to explore outside of the sports video games that they enjoy. I want the writing style to be informative and witty. The more specific you are, the AI kind of operates as a chameleon. It just tries to blend into what you give it. If you don't tell it specifically what to do, it's just not going to do it, or they're just going to say it in broad terms. Quick disclaimer, I am reading exactly everything that ChatGPT gives me for this script. I am reading it verbatim. I might add like a quick little ad lib here and there just to kind of emphasize some things, but I am reading this word for word. So here's the adapted version. Hope you enjoy. Hey, what's up, gamers? It's your boy here, and today we're talking about sports video games. Specifically, we're going to dive into why these games like Madden and FIFA have been so successful over the years, even though they're basically the same game every year.
Gotta love it.
We'll also discuss why some people have a problem with paying full price for a game that's essentially a roster update.
Spoiler alert.
It all comes down to the demographic of gamers who buy sports video games. Section 1.
Why sports video games continue to sell well.
First things first, let's talk about the success of sports video games. These games have been around for decades, and they continue to be popular among gamers of all ages. It's true that some people may have an issue with paying full price for a game that's essentially the same as the previous year's version. But the fact is that sports video games continue to sell really well. According to recent data, the FIFA series alone has sold over 325 million copies, making it one of the best-selling video game franchises of all time. That's not even including other popular sports games like Madden and NBA 2K. So why do these games continue to sell well? Well, it all comes down to the business model of these games. Section 2.
The business model of sports video games.
The business model of sports video games is pretty straightforward. Each year, the developers release a new version of the game with updated rosters and some minor tweaks to the gameplay. They may also add some new features, but for the most part, it's the same game as the previous year. Some people have an issue with this, but the reality is that this model works. Why fix what isn't broken? Am I right? The truth is that these games sell very well, and the developers are making a lot of money from them. So why would they change their business model? It's a classic case of, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But hey, as long as the fans keep buying, developers will keep making. Section 3.
The demographic of sports video game players.
Now, let's talk about the demographic of people who generally buy sports games. These are people who are diehard fans of their respective sports, right? Whether it's football, soccer, basketball, they love the thrill of being able to control their favorite players and teams in a virtual setting. And here's the thing about these fans, they're loyal. They may not care to explore outside of the sports video games that they enjoy. They know what they like, and they stick to it. They're going to buy the new version of Madden or FIFA every year, even if it's just a roster update, because they simply want to stay up to date with their favorite teams and players. So there you have it, folks. Sports video games continue to be successful because they have a loyal fan base who will buy the new version of the game every year, even if it's just a roster update. While some people may have an issue with paying full price for a game that's essentially the same as the previous year, the reality is that these games sell really well, and the developers are making a lot of money from them. So whether you love them or hate them, sports video games are here to stay, I think. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Later.
So yeah, we're pretty much
I am so jealous of these college kids, man. You have to pray that the professors are capable and just know when something's AI, and even then, it's hard to detect. Making a PowerPoint, doing a presentation, writing a paper. Like, I used to take so much time and effort to write a paper. I always like the end product of a paper, even though it's like, you know, you don't get money for it, you just get a grade for it. But I would think out every single sentence I was going to write. You don't gotta do that. Just tell me what the premise is. What do I have to do for the objective? What's the standard for the paper? What's expected of it? And there you have it. So higher education is going to be in trouble, right? If it's college or high school, it doesn't really matter because kids, you know it, they're going to be doing this. It's easy to sign up. You just need your phone number, you need your email, and that's it. This is not a paid service. And to make YouTube videos, I feel like a lot of people are going to be using this for commentary style, for informative videos. If you have a little bit of charisma, if you have a little bit of enthusiasm behind your voice, it's going to come off as completely genuine for a lot of people. And considering how many content creators on YouTube or whatever platform feel like they have to do this full time or feel like they have to upload every single day, this is a perfect tool for them. And it's terrible because you're going to have no idea what's genuine, what's real, what's not real. It's just going to be, you know, like, was this an AI script? Or, you know, does that even matter? Do you still enjoy the content no matter what, whether or not you know what's behind the screen or what's behind the script? At the end of the day, if you're making a unique video with a unique idea or writing a paper with a unique idea and unique premise, would ChatGPT be able to emulate that, to make something similar. That could be a whole other discussion for another day, but guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're aware. Is this a concern? Well, I mean, what do you think of this? What do you interpret this as? Is it exciting? Is it scary? I mean, I really don't know how to answer that right now. Many platforms are oversaturated as it is, and I've seen a lot of people kind of being like a guru on how to make these types of videos, how to make AI content to potentially get money every week or bi-weekly or per video. Like, for example, if you want to be like this little expert in, making resumes or making, talking about job interviews and stuff like that, you can make a lot of scripts for just like standard things on what to do. For people who don't want to read that information, and if you just want to make, your own voiceovers and read that information that's given to you, I mean, yeah, that could still be informative. Does that even matter? I mean, I'm really curious on what you guys think about this. Is this a bad thing? Is it a good thing? I'm not really sure. Like I said before, I think higher education it's really going to be an issue. I think it is. The integrity of writing papers and doing presentations genuinely, when college and university is just extremely taxing anyway with your time. Students are going to do whatever they can do to cut corners, but I guess I'm just talking about the oversaturation on YouTube anyway, or on TikTok, Instagram, even online forums like Reddit or Discord, just being able to kind of make, just like breed ideas out of nowhere. Guys, like and subscribe if you like content like this, and we will see you in the next one.
Hey, this is your boy Boki. Can't make it to the phone right now, but leave a message and I'll get back to you. Peace.
Oh, hey, Boki. Sorry for calling you so late. I just wanted to let you know that your latest upload about ChatGPT was amazing. When I can't sleep at night, I just rewatch all of your videos on your YouTube channel to pass the time. I mean, the time and effort that you put into these videos for us viewers really just makes me feel warm and happy. You don't have to do all of that. I know you're basically supermodel levels of hot in real life, and you touch tons of grass. But this is starting to be too much. Anyways, call me back when you get the chance.